All right, guys. UFC 317 is right around the corner. We've got Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira in the main event. We've got great fights top to bottom. In my opinion, this is probably the best card of the year. The UFC has been delivering a lot of fucking slop lately, so it's great to see great matchups from top to bottom. This main card is absolutely fucking phenomenal, and I'm super excited to break it down. But before I do, I just wanted to give you guys a little side note. It's very rare, especially as a bettor, that you get to have moments where you get to witness greatness and be able to sit back and just relax. There's no sweating it. There's no breaking down the inside foot battle. There's none of the bullshit, man. Sit back, relax, and watch greatness do his thing. Okay? That greatness is Ilia Topuria. That greatness is personified in one man that's going to make us a ton of money this weekend. And I'm fucking ecstatic for it. So without further ado, I'm going to break down that fight right now. All right, first up. First up. Got Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, man. This is a bit of a freebie. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Like I said, man, it's very few times in your life that you're going to be able to witness a guy like this. The Mike Tysons, the Conor McGregors, the Ilia Topurias. His name's going to fit right in there. Smooth as butter. I'll tell you what, Charles Oliveira is not standing in the way of this storyline. Ilia Topuria, I told you, JDM was going to win his fight against fucking Bilal Muhammad. And that was for one reason. It was so that Islam Makhachev could move up to 170. It was so that Ilia Topuria could go on to take the 155 belt, beat Paddy Pimblett, and chase Islam Makhachev up to 170. That's right, you heard it here first. Ilia Topuria is going to be a 3-belt champion. He is going to be a 3-weight class champion. I'm not going to sit here and break this down. Look, Charles Oliveira was great, man. He's a great family man. He was awesome for the sport. We all enjoyed his era, but that era is far over. He's now receding. His hairline is receding. Everything's receding in his life. He's 35 years old, and it's about time, man. We're going to get another legend slain, unfortunately. But like I said, nothing's standing in the way of Ilia Topuria's storyline and his aura and his plot armor that he's got going on. So I'm not going to break down anything about the fight. Ilia Topuria by round 2, club and sub submission. Alexandre Pantoja versus Kaikar France. Another spot, man. No way we get to bet on greatness. This is just one of those cards. Sit back, pop open a beer, no sweat in your bets, no fading, no hedging, no bullshit, man. Just relax, man. They're gonna get it done. Alexandre Pantoja, man. Look at all the guys. We're worried about the overhand right, this or that, or the overhand right, and then step into left. Look at what he did to Steve Erceg, and look what Pantoja. Shut the fuck up, man. Look at that fight again. Go watch the knockout. Go watch every exchange where Steve Erceg was getting caught. It wasn't in the pocket. Okay, this guy's not that good, man. It was when Steve Erceg was backing up with his chin up. I'll tell you one thing about Pantoja. This guy's not taking a fucking backstep. He ain't taking no fucking backstep. I'll tell you who's going to be scared, worried about the takedowns, worried about everything. His striking going to be off because of that takedown threat. It's going to be Kaikar France. He's going to be dancing around his back against the cage. He's going to get shot on. He's going to get mauled. He's going to get manhandled. The fight's going to get worse and worse as it goes on. I don't think Kaikar France is live here at all, man. I'm taking Pantoja all day, and I'm excited for this one. I think Pantoja needs to get his flowers. I think everybody needs to start giving him the respect. He is the flyweight GOAT, man. Demetrius Johnson, nah. He just didn't have the same level of competition. I'm ready to go ahead and call Pantoja the GOAT after he beats Kaikar France. So, yeah, I'm not going to break this one down too much either. This is just another situation where you ride with greatness or you're a loser. Okay, well, finally, I got something to break down for you guys. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. This is actually a great fight. I think a lot of people are going to be shocked. I think a lot of casuals are going to be shocked, man, when they see Renato Moicano just get beat everywhere, man. Get beat on the feet, get beat on the ground, get beat in the scrambles, get beat in the jiu-jitsu, get beat in the wrestling. You name it, man. I think Beneil Dariush is better everywhere. I think he's going to put on a great performance. I think he's going to show levels to his game. You got to understand, Renato Moicano is a hammer. He's not a nail. And when his game isn't working, go watch the RDA fight, man. You want some more proof of that? Go watch the Islam Makhachev fight. I get it, short notice, this and that. But all I'm saying is when you have a guy that can neutralize his grappling, he's really not anything, man. This isn't fucking, what's his name? Fuck, I almost forgot his name. But Benoit Saint-Denis, man. This is the guy in Beneil Dariush that's beaten Mateus Gamrot, which Mateus Gamrot would absolutely maul Renato Moicano. Look at what Mateus Gamrot did to RDA, and look what RDA did to Renato Moicano. And I'm not trying to do MMA math. That's the opposite. What I'm saying is this is a counter matchup for a guy like Renato Moicano. This is a matchup for Beneil Dariush to win. This is absolutely his spot. I think he beats him everywhere. I think he beats him on the striking. He's got the power advantage. I think he's a little bit more technical, crafty. He was doing good against Charles Oliveira. I think it's Beneil Dariush's time to kind of get back into the mix, and it's his turn. The momentum shift is going to happen. You know, Renato Moicano got thrown up into the lion's den with Islam Makhachev, and he had his opportunity. I think it's time for Beneil Dariush to start riding that upwards momentum, upwards trajectory, and I think it's time for Renato Moicano to fall off a cliff and kind of go back to where he belongs, which is kind of that 15 through 10 spot. So yeah, I'm taking Beneil Dariush as one of my favorite underdogs of this card, and I've got chalk on him. I'll go ahead and pop it up on the screen just in case I don't get a video out to you guys later this week. I'll at least give you something. I'll probably have a lot more chalk coming out that I want to show you guys. So this is one of those cards where I'm just like, fuck, dude. I want it all out there because I'm gonna let my nuts hang. Yeah. Next up, man, this is a great fight, man. Amazing fight. And I've got a couple ways I want to break this down, man, because I think Brandon Royval is going to be a little bit too tricky for Joshua Van. I hate to have to pick Brandon Royval here because there's only one man on planet Earth that can beat Alexandre Pantoja right now. His name is Joshua Van, a young man named Joshua Van, who's going to be one of the next future GOATs. The problem is he's facing Brandon Royval here, a tall, lanky striker that throws a lot of kicks, doesn't like boxing, only throws a jab and feints a lot on that jab, has decent, fight instincts. Another big problem I see here, a weapon that Brandon Royval has, because a lot of people are thinking, man, Brandon Royval hits like a fucking fish, man. He swings his purse. That's true, but I do see the spinning back fist being a little bit of a problem. I see, kind of Joshua Van getting a little frustrated, over swinging or chasing down Brandon Royval, who's kind of missed a kick or something and walks into a spinning back fist. I'm concerned about that for sure. I think that's the way that Brandon Royval can actually hurt this kid and score big. I don't think he puts him out from it, but I could definitely see him scoring. We saw Edgar Chairez do that to Joshua Van, so I think Brandon Royval is a lot more polished and kind of coming into his prime fully here. I don't like the fact that Brandon Royval has been having like CTEs and concussions and shit. That's kind of concerning, but that's my brain talking right there. I think the jab, the kicks, that's going to be a little bit too much for Josh Van to handle. I think he does end up winning round 3, Joshua Van. But now I'm going to give you the heart breakdown, and that's what this kid Joshua Van's all about. He's all about heart, man. And I think the way I feel, my gut instinct is telling me Brandon Royval, my brain's telling me Brandon Royval, but my heart's telling me Joshua Van. And I can't ignore that feeling, man. I think Joshua Van's going to go out there, get frustrated in round 1, get frustrated in round 2 until he finds that one shot. Brandon Royval gets a little overzealous, gets a little too comfortable in there, and Joshua Van cracks him, knocks him down, steals round 2, and takes over the fight, winning round 3 in a chalky, close split decision fight that Joshua Van ends up winning to move on to fight Pantoja. The storyline's there. It's set. I'm all over it, man. I'm picking Josh Van by split decision. For this fight, man, I'm going to go ahead and start rolling some tape up here of Peyton Talbot looking just fucking horrible in that Raoni Barcelos fight. And I'm not talking about him looking horrible in the grappling. That's to be expected, right? I don't expect a predominantly striking-based guy to go out there and out grapple a guy in Raoni Barcelos who's got tons of wrestling credentials. That's not what I'm saying he looked horrible at. What I'm saying he looked horrible at is over swinging on the feet, falling forward on shots, just looking fucking abysmal on the feet up until round 3 where he finally started to get in some type of groove. I'll tell you what, if that Peyton Talbot comes out and fights Felipe Lima, he gets dominated bell to bell. Absolutely gets, I think he gets finished. Because I think if, Felipe Lima gets in those spots, he's a much better guy, jiu-jitsu guy, than I think Raoni Barcelos in terms of how quick he is to get to spots. And a guy in Peyton Talbot who likes to work through positions kind of slow. I think that's a recipe for disaster for Peyton Talbot. But I will say, I don't think Peyton Talbot's going to come out here and look like complete dog shit. What I want to see is I want to see Peyton Talbot shave his head. I want to see him double down on the terrible haircuts. He's already lost his flow. He can't go back to the puffy hair. If he's got puffy hair this fight, I'm fading him, absolutely. But if Peyton Talbot comes out there with a shaved head, I'm absolutely throwing a bunch of chalk on him because That's kind of just vibes. But let me actually break down the match. I think Peyton Talbot's going to come out there and look a lot better. I think he's going to be coming in, throwing knees up the middle. I think he's going to be scaring Felipe Lima a little bit. I think he's going to be. I want Peyton Talbot to not be coming forward, falling forward, just looking terrible. I want him to kind of sit back, feel good, look calm like he did against Cameron Simon. Like come out and assert some presence, assert some dominance, but keep bouncing. Don't be falling forward. Work the footwork. Be clean. Be technical. Be the guy that you are. Don't be getting overzealous and thinking that you're the fucking guy, man. You got to prove yourself. This is do or die here against Felipe Lima. But all in all, I do see Peyton Talbot actually winning the first 2 rounds of this fight. Maybe winning round 1, maybe losing round 2, but I certainly see Felipe Lima winning round 3. I see him getting onto the back at some point. Honestly, I'm not even going to sit here and say I see something, I see this. What I see is a situation where Felipe Lima is getting outstruck for majority of the fight, and he finally gets a spot where he gets that takedown and he gets on the back, locks in that figure 4, and I just see trouble for Peyton Talbot, man. I see him start banging on his head, looking for submissions, and I think the fight kind of turns around from there because once Peyton Talbot sees that, he's going to be having kind of PTSD flashbacks of that Raoni Barcelos fight. So honestly, if this is a fight, if I'm a bettor here, I'm probably avoiding this fight, man. You can maybe look at the takedown lines for Felipe Lima, see what that looks like, but apart from that, I'm probably avoiding this as best as I can because this one's a lot closer than people think. I know people are all over Felipe Lima, just want to throw it down, throw all the money down on Felipe Lima, man. Wow, they're feeding Peyton Talbot to wolves here. Man, I don't know, man. I think that was the worst Peyton Talbot will ever look in his career in that last fight against Raoni Barcelos. And like I said, in the striking, that's where I was mainly concerned with him. He looked terrible in the striking. So I am going to be officially picking Felipe Lima. But man, I would not be shocked at all if Peyton Talbot runs away with this one and actually, looks really fucking good in it. So I think he's due for it. So we'll see what the vibes are looking like fight week, and I'll get back to you guys by Friday. All right, headlining the prelims, another great fucking fight, man. The UFC is actually doing good. This card looks amazing so far, right? Jack Hermansson versus Gregory Rodriguez. Guys, this is one of those spots where I think people are going to be overthinking again. I think this is kind of a buy low spot for Gregory Rodriguez. You guys got to remember, that was a 5-round fight against Jared Cannonier. If it had been a 3-round fight, Gregory Rodriguez, we're talking about him for title contentions, this and that, whatever. This is a 3-round fight, okay? So it's not a 5-round fight. I think he's gonna go out there and wins round. Dude, I gotta take a drink. Fuck. So I think Gregory Rodriguez is gonna go out there, win rounds 1 and 2, look great in them, kind of be putting on a fucking pace on Jack Hermansson. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he gets a finish. I'm actually going to be picking Gregory Rodriguez to get a round 2 finish. If not, I think he comfortably wins rounds 1 and 2. Jack Hermansson's not going to have the grappling to go to. Gregory Rodriguez is a very credentialed BJJ guy. He's got great wrestling. He's super strong. I mean, just fucking look at the guy's arms. Look at his build. Look at his physique. You're not grapple fucking this guy. So I think Jack Hermansson can try to put on a crafty performance. I don't think Gregory Rodriguez cares. I really hope after that last fight that he doesn't change up his game plan. I want him to come forward. I want him to be crazy. I want him to put the fucking pace on Jack Hermansson and beat the fuck out of him. I think he easily gets a finish if he does that. I just really hope we don't see him look all timid and try to be technical, because if he does, he's absolutely going to lose this fight. So I'm going to take Gregory Rodriguez. Feels like another lock piece. I think he wins rounds 1 and 2. Worst case scenario, I think, he should get a finish. Worst case scenario, he wins 2 rounds and loses round 3. So I'm going to take Gregory Rodriguez. Easy pick here for me. Fuck, man. The UFC has really outdone themselves. Another banger. This is fight of the night written all over it. Haider Emil versus Jose Delgado. Now, if you haven't heard of Jose Delgado, man, he's a slick striker. Got some nice power, some nice pop. He seems like he's actually going to be something in this division. But what I want to talk about a little bit more, well, actually, I'll keep going, okay? So Haider Emil, crazy, just come forward, pit bull style, not move the head, eat shots, put a pace on a guy, and I think that's a terrible game plan for a guy like Jose Delgado, who's super slick, who's going to be setting up strikes on Haider Emil, whose head is not really going to be moving off the center line. I'm not really crazy about Haider Emil's footwork. He kind of just a walk you down and mirage you type of guy. He's one of the typical marauders, and I think it ends here, man. I think Jose Delgado is going to get a highlight finish on Hyder Emil, and one of my main reasons for that is I believe Hyder Emil is 11-0. I know he's got that O, and we know what time it is. It's 2025. It's big 2025, and fighters have been getting these wins over these undefeated guys. So I'm taking Jose Delgado. I love that he's already taken a loss in his career that kind of protects him from getting fraud checked, getting that O snatch from him. So Hyder Emil is going to lose this fight. I'm picking Jose Delgado by round 2 finish. Knockout. Yeah. Okay. We got a women's fight. Everything was going great up until at least we get to see Tracy Cortez walk around that stage. That's gonna be nice, man. People forget though, Vivian Araujo, man. She's a good looking girl too. So that's at least nice. At least they picked out two. They cherry picked two of the good looking girls from the division. That's nice. I'm gonna be picking Tracy Cortez. Don't really got much for you. Should just be able to outstrike her for majority of the fight. Viviane is she came off a big win. Karine Silva, that's pretty impressive. That's a good win. Um, I don't know. I think Trace Cortez should just win. Yeah, there we go. All right, back to bangers, back to excitement. We've got Vashlev Borshev, or however the fuck you say this guy's name, versus Terrence McKinney. This is actually a really tough fight to pick. You're either picking Terrence McKinney in round 1 or you're picking Borshev to win by round 2 or 3 finish. I think this fight absolutely does end in a finish. I can't really see Terrence McKinney's gas tank lasting. I could kind of see a situation where Terrence McKinney has, Vyacheslav, 10-8 in the first round, kind of up against the ropes, barely scathing his way out of there, and him coming back and winning rounds 2 and 3. A big comeback performance, almost fight of the night type of performance, and maybe getting a finish in round 3, late round 3 versus Terrence McKinney. But at the same time, I could also see Borshev winning round 1. So really, my pick for this fight is this fight not to go the distance. I think I am just gonna have to pick Vashlev Borshev to be good enough in the striking department. I like that he's kind of got a shitty record. He's kind of flying under the radar a little bit. I don't think Terrence McKinney's all that. I think he's had some fluke wins in the UFC. I don't like that, Borshev's not as explosive as he needs to be. No, we're taking our pick back. We're taking Terrence McKinney by submission in round 2, round 1. No, round 1. This fight's impossible to pick. Whoever's going to, it's a 50-50. Whoever wins it, it's going to look amazing, and they're going to stomp the other guy. I don't know. Flip a coin. You got my pick here. I guess if I have to, final pick. This could be for the 13-0. Fuck, man. All right, we're taking Vashlev Borshev. No, we're not. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. We're taking Borshev. I'll lock it in. Fuck it. I ain't no pussy, man. I'm locking in Borshev, even though he should just get finished and slept in round 1. So, whatever. We're locking in Borshev. Let's go, baby. Getting to the prelims. A slaughter, a pig being brought to the slaughter chamber. That's kind of what this fight is, man. Nico Price, the dodo bird himself versus Jacoby Smith, the up and coming D1 wrestler with crazy power, crazy finishing instinct. I think this one's pretty obvious. I think that's why Jacoby Smith's sitting at a minus 2,000 favorite. I just don't really see where Nico Price wins at all. He might be a little bit more of a polished striker, but that doesn't mean that you're the better striker, because the power makes up for it in Jacoby Smith. The ruthlessness, the aggression, the lack of the chin for Nico Price. Nico Price is also a guy that likes to mix in the grappling. Absolutely not happening in a million years against Jacoby Smith. I'll take that under on takedowns for Nico Price all day of the year. That's a fucking lock. Whatever it is, I don't know what they're going to set it at. But anyways, I'm picking Jacoby Smith by a late round 1 knockout, round 1 finish, ground and pound, kind of just kind of beats Nico Price up and gets the TKO finish. I don't think he'll sleep Nico Price out cold. I think it'll just kind of be a ground and pound finish type deal. Ref stops in to stop it. But another great fight. This card's just fucking phenomenal, man. I can't give it enough flowers. All right, another actually a decent fight here. We've got Janata Denise versus Alvin Hines, man. Janata Denise, he's a world-class kickboxer, really good. Alvin Hines, some fat slob they pulled off the street to come in and fight here. This guy's going to lose a 30-20 30-27 decision. I watched a little bit of Alvin Hines. He's probably just going to walk onto a shot. Janata Denise is super clean, super technical. He's going to be setting this guy up, leg kicking him, and kind of walking this guy onto a shot. I'm picking Janata Denise all day. Should get the finish, I'd say, in round 2 or 3. I'm thinking round 2 finish for Janata Denise by KO. Not going to get much further into it. Okay, there's one fight. Cedricus Dumas did fall out. I don't know what happened. If he committed a bank robbery or petty theft, or I don't know what happened. But Boot Gang's off the card officially. We've now got what's his name, Jackson McIvy, which he was on the card, McVee or whatever his name is, versus Christopher Ewert. And haven't really watched anything about Christopher Ewert. I will get back to you guys later this week if my mind changes, but I'm going to be rocking with him, actually. I'm going to be going with him. I think Jackson McVee, I was kind of hesitant to even pick him against Cedricus Dumas, but, Cedricus being super low IQ, looking like he's probably going to end up shooting into a takedown, into a submission. That's kind of what I was thinking for that fight, but this Christopher Ewert guy looks like he has more stiff competition that he's fought. Nothing that I watched with Jackson McVee impressed me. He always could get a random submission. I will do a little bit more research on this Christopher Ewert guy, but as of right now, I'm going to be picking him. He looks better on Tapology, and I don't know. If you just sort of look at the two guys' faces, I think Christopher Ewert by vibes. So we're going to be picking him. I will get back to you guys. I bet he's probably good though. So, anyways, that's going to be the fight. That's going to be the breakdown. I will get back to you guys later this week, like I said. Drop a like, drop a subscription, and please, whatever you do, if you don't do any of that, don't comment, whatever, that's fine. Just listen to me, man. Put some fucking chalk on this card. This is a fucking rare spot. You're only going to get a couple of these a year, maybe one or two. JDM was the other spot. Like I said, this is where you get to bet on greatness. Sit back, kick your feet up, and let greatness do its work, man. You're witnessing history here. Do not miss your opportunity. Do not live in regret. Please put chalk on this fight. Please, please, please. And other than that, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the card.